Good afternoon, chat. Today we are going to be discussing the other phases of jungian alchemy. We got the fit on. Yeah, it's fake. I said that in a different video, okay? Chain's fake, glasses are fake, hat's fake, okay? From foreign countries. Anyways, or I believe that they're fake. So, yeah, I don't do that stuff. Government, don't persecute me. Anyways, it's not my fault, bro. I didn't know. I thought they were just selling Gucci for really cheap. Jungian alchemy. I've been doing a lot of study on alchemy today. It was like the past 3 hours. I've just been writing in this book, which is coming together nicely, dude. Like, it's looking really good. Like, I have this many pages full of notes. Wait. This many pages full of notes. Like, it's very, sorry. This many pages full of notes. It's looking very schizo. Like, my handwriting just makes it look so much crazier. I'm really hoping that the wind isn't bad. But anyways, Jungian alchemy. So I've been reading Paracelsus Alchemy today, which I didn't really delve into much. Also, by the way, the reason that I held off from making this video was because I wasn't super well grounded in my understanding of alchemy. Like, I thought I got it, but I wasn't super sure. And again, today, guys, like, I'm not Jung, I'm not Paracelsus. I just study this stuff, right? And I didn't even go insanely in depth. So if I'm like messing something up, tell me in the comments, please. Because, I mean, okay, here's the other part, though, is that alchemy is a lot of different understandings, right? 7 phases, 4 phases. Some people do 3 phases and they merge the last 2. It's kind of all over the place, so I'm just here to talk about Jungian alchemy at a fairly baseline level, just so you could get the understanding. What I thought was so interesting when I first read alchemy was that I did all the phases of alchemy without knowing. I had no idea that I was, like, going through it or anything, yet I just kind of did it on my own through research of psychology. Let me also preface this. So alchemy appears the most as the process of transforming lead to gold or other invaluable metals, when in reality that's an allegory for transforming the lower version of yourself to the higher version. So magic was pretty much the study of the unconscious mind and psychology before psychology was a thing. So that's why Jung refers to it so much and loves it. Anyways, that's enough. We're going to get into the phases. So, first off, if you're watching this, you have to watch the Negrido video first. I'm going to put it in a folder with this, along with the other alchemy video I'm going to make after this. Just so that it's easier to access for you guys and stuff. But you need that preface, okay? I probably should have said that earlier in the video. Sorry you had to wait this long. But you have to understand the first stage, which took me 36 minutes to explain for whatever reason. Very long, but these other phases are much shorter, so hopefully that helps. It's just that there's a ton of stuff within the Negrido. There's like a billion things that Jung writes about it. So, each of these words, the phases, there's a lot of Latin I'm going to say. I'm going to translate as much as I translated when I was taking the notes, just so you understand. The second stage is the albedo. Things feel better in this. This phase is largely of awareness and acceptance of the anima/animus. Now, a video will come out on the anima and animus sooner than later. I have all the notes written down on the anima, I just haven't made the video. So a few pages of notes in here. Pretty much, it's one of the central parts to Jung's psychology and his model of the mind, where pretty much it talks about that there's a unconscious figure of a woman if you're a man, or a man if you're a woman, that exists within you. It's an archetype that everyone has, right? So the anima is formed mostly by your mother and women that you've interacted with, and it's like it's a culmination of all of them as a concept in your unconscious mind. And yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. So, the awareness and acceptance of the anima/animus. This stems from the process of the sublimatio. Sublimatio, turning material into air by volatilizing it and elevating it. A solid is heated becomes gas and ascends to the top and resolidifies at the upper cooler region. Derived from sublimis, meaning high in Latin, inferior is transformed to superior, referred to typically symbolically by ladders, stairs, climbing, and flight. In this stage, one gets above their earthly problems by incorporating spiritual explanation. Jung wrote, "Sublimatio is the part of the royal art," which royal art typically has to do with Freemasonry and black magic, where the real gold was made. But you have to understand that black magic and Freemasonry are, incorporating a spiritual explanation. So that doesn't really make this like, of course, black magic is going to incorporate a spiritual explanation of science. There's a lot of stuff that you kind of have to think about with this, where it sounds really bad at first, Anyway, sorry. It is the going above of basic understanding through using spiritual/metaphysical understanding and explanation. Therefore, to tap into one's anima in explanation or use archetypes in dream analysis is promoting the sublimatio. An example is to understand a reaction a husband has to his wife as something of his mother problem would allow him to go above the issue and to view it objectively, disintegrating the problem. It's kind of a Freudian idea. I mean, if you know Freud and Jung, you know that they're very close to each other, yet they differ. But when I say that it's because of his mother, I mean that's because she's the majority shaping of his anima, right? And in Jungian perspective, this is also how you understand the Oedipus complex. Not the actual Oedipus complex, but rather the idea that men seek women that are like their mothers. When a woman fits your anima, you fall in love like that, right? And an anima problem would mean that she's not fitting the anima, or your anima is evil and toxic, right? So, okay, I was attracted to this woman because this. Okay, this is my projection of how women should be because of the way that my mother was. Another example is the realization of Another example is the realization a resentment is of the anima possession. The higher one goes in his sublimatio, the less he influences what he perceives. So, I mean, you could understand this with a daemon, right? Like, the more that you go into the spiritual explanation of your problem, the less that the problem seems hard to navigate. So, like, I don't know, the more that you get to understand that your depression is because you're not doing well spiritually, the more that you're objectively viewing it compared to, no, it's because of my parents, it's because, I don't know why, it's like, it's so complex and scary. You integrate the spiritual understanding, and then you're like, yo, what? You realize that these demonic urges are the reason that you felt this way, right? And that's how you should view problems. You shouldn't be allowing yourself to be altering your perception of the issue significantly. Like, why would you do that? And I mean, I say that, but then everyone does that, But yeah, when you incorporate these spiritual explanations, you come to realize it's not a matter of perspective at all, And the matter of perspective is what causes most problems, because someone perceives that they're benefiting, or that they're going to make the other person be losing. Dude, what is going on? Some dude just took off in a pontoon, bro. He just went from like 2 miles an hour to 30. Sorry, it's kind of loud. Jung wrote, "It is not a voluntary and forcible channeling of instinct into a spirituous, I don't know what that means, field of application, but an alchemical transformation for which fire and the black prima materia are needed." Other video is going to explain prima materia. It's a long explanation. fire, or the calcinatio, and the black prima material, or the negrido, base life are needed. I don't speak Latin, okay, so I'm sorry if I mispronounce some stuff. For some reason I say some stuff like I'm speaking Spanish. It just happens. Pretty much what this phase means is that you involve objective spiritual law into understanding your issues, and thus you rise above them. Simple as that, you know? It's like if you were having, let's say you suddenly get into anxiety. Simultaneously, your family is having a lot of problems at home. If you went, oh, maybe this is because my family is a unit and we are all connected by invisible strings, and so when someone starts lagging behind, we all get lagged behind, and then we all kind of suffer from it, right? Spiritual explanation bring you out of the negrido, and things start to feel better because you actually understand. And this doesn't mean involving psychoanalysis. I mean, you could to an extent, but for example, let's say what's a good example? Let's say I get very anxious when I hear the sound of a heavy semi-truck rolling by because I watched my dog die. If I did like I'm feeling neurotic about this because my dog died. That's not a spiritual explanation, therefore you do not achieve the albedo. See, these last two phases I'm confused about because I wrote them as 3 and 4, as rubido and then citrinas. But traditional alchemy has them flipped, and sometimes it just combines the two. But, I mean, the way that it's explained in my writing dude, I took these notes like a few months ago, so the way in my writing it makes sense, but yeah, fair warning about that part. Rubido means the reddening in Latin. This part of the transformation is likened to the reddening of the face upon change, with the confrontation of the shadow, and the understanding of the anima, in the case of a man, that is, or the animus for a woman. We are able to better manage tensions and difficulties of the difficult aspects of the psyche. Tensions and difficulties, not difficult tensions, of the different aspects of the psyche. This allows for the knowledge of the deus absconditis, meaning the hidden inner God. During this third phase of transformation, the ego becomes conscious of the self, and thus the ego begins to subject itself to higher authorities. The self becomes actualized rather than just a potential. The paradox of recognizing our divine nature without identifying with it becomes sustainable. Life begins to work better and feel better. So it's better in the albedo, but now it's even better. The stuff about the hidden inner God I was a little confused about, and honestly it made me hesitant to talk about it because like I'm a Christian. You guys know that if you watch my videos. I'm not a Christian that does psychology. I'm a Christian, so shut up. Pretty much, this is the full integration of spiritual explanation. You understand that there's Christ consciousness within you, aka inner morals, and that you exist in kind of a karmic manner where you do good and then you feel good and then you do bad and then you recognize that there's this force governing you and not some sort of moral ambiguity, I guess you could say. But it goes beyond like the morals of, oh, I help people or something like that, and is more like with everything that you do. The ego becoming conscious of the self, dude, I'm going to need to re-reference my notes of that part. Because, wait one sec. Just give me like 1 minute. These girls are yelling. I just realized I don't even have notes that explain that. The ego is thought and stuff like that, Freudian idea of ego. And then the self is characteristics and the way that you actually are beyond your mask, beyond your persona. So like everyone has a persona, and your persona is your characteristics perceived by others. So some people have a really thick one, like famous people, and some people, and not just famous people, bro, like 90% of people, and some people have a very thin persona where, yeah, they're not expressing certain things that go on within the self, but mostly it's pretty real, you know. And that's like actually knowing someone. Like if you ever thought no one actually knows me that I know, that means you have a thick persona. So because of this, you don't have cognitive dissonance. You're actually like aware of things. Like it's like you actually know. And this also has to do, a lot of Jungian individuation is tied to Jungian alchemy. What is individuation according to Jung? Making the unconscious conscious. So this is pretty much the stage that this is fully gone, right? But the recognition of spiritual explanation is the beginning of making unconscious. Well, actually, no, the beginning is the Negrito, really, because the thing that causes the suffering is the recognition of the unconscious and the drawing it out, right? This is one of the highest stages in it. And yeah, of course, you feel better then. Finally, the citrinas. The English word for citrine, meaning yellow-green gemstone, stems from this term. This phase is categorized by the fulfillment of the opus, the gold. A new way of life is taken up, and through repeated transformation, the worthless parts of the psyche become the gold of consciousness. We participate in creation, powered by spirit, guided by path, illuminated by the newfound discovery of spiritual purpose. This is the point of alchemy, guys. This is the whole point, is that you're trying to find the philosopher's stone, which, what is the philosopher's stone? Really individuated person with full creative potential. And so what this means, the final stage, is that you've fulfilled, you found what you need to do, and you've begun, and you're getting through it, right? Because, I mean, if you're called to this path, you have a creative purpose in the world. There's something, right? And I, as a Christian, am always going to drive the point that we all have some purpose that differentiates from others, right? And this is where brotherhood comes from. This is kind of a side note, but this is where brotherhood comes from, dude. I don't know if my computer's baking in the sun. I just started lagging so hard. This is what brotherhood comes from, is that you have a mutual spiritual purpose with other men that you are willing to die for, right? And so partaking in creation is really the biggest thing that men should be doing. And think about this. Think about dinks, okay? I want you to think about a dink. Dual income, no kids. That is ultimate consumer, right? Consumerism is opposite of creating, right? Do you guys understand this? And who are normally very rooted in consumerism? Well, very shallow people. Well, what makes someone shallow? A lack of understanding, truly, derived from a lack of suffering and true recovery in their life, right? Maybe they do suffer, but they didn't grow. So I really do think that, like, the ultimate purpose of your life is, like I said, evolving. But overall, you're evolving to create. That's the purpose, right? Create something for someone. Now we'll make the next video. Yeah, I just think it's crazy because I did this stuff without understanding. You know? If I had to sum up these phases in a few words. Phase 1, suffer, blacken. Phase 2, understand spiritually. The whitening. Climbing. Phase 3. Reddening. Pretty much getting to understand morals and yourself and your unconscious mind. But not just understanding it, integrating it and figuring it out. It's like a little cute little trial error type. Finally is integration. And that's it, guys. That's it. That's like the shortest explanation. Yeah, this wasn't that in depth. I know. There's a lot more to understand with this stuff. There is. Jungian alchemy is such a long study. I'm going to explain some of the actual alchemy in the next video, which I'm going to record immediately after this. I'm going to set it to release a day later, though. And we're making a folder for this Jungian, or just alchemy folder. My thoughts? Thanks for asking. Well, I really do think that a psychologist who incorporates spiritual explanation is genius. That is the most genius person to exist. Right? So people like Paracelsus and Jung are like peak in intellect, in my opinion. Right? I mean, Freud is like genius level, and Nietzsche is as well, but it's very different. Anyways, like I said, psychology was known as magic before, and for that, a lot of people avoid it. A lot of people, I mean the magic, not the psychology. A lot of people think it's evil and stuff like that are religious. And no, bro, it's the way that God made us to be, really. It is. This is like... Here's the thing, guys. Here's what you need to understand, is that the most powerful people in the world use this stuff. The most powerful people. I think it's hilarious. The creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion loved Jung. That's the funniest thing. He loved Jung. That's why he started using a bunch of religious symbols. That's why he's like, no, I'm not religious. I just like talking about the Kabbalah and putting their symbols in because it applies. Do you guys like the videos at the park? I just go here so I can ground. And because I do the reading in my room and then I go outside, and it's good for me. Get a change of scenery and stuff. I hope that the wind isn't bad. Yeah, guys, this is how you're gonna achieve greatness, to be honest. And every time after I read alchemy, I get this boost in me. Well, I mean, I had the boost in me when I woke up today. I felt amazing. I've been listening to a lot of Kanye. Love Kanye, bro. I miss the old Kanye. Straight up, I do, bro. They ruined him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's a different guy. But whatever happened to Kanye, man, it's sad to see. Anyways, whenever I read this stuff, I feel so powerful. When I read, because, bro, when you get the manifestation plus the alchemy, it's a different power level, bro. But not just that, you have to be with God, bro. If you're not with God, your power level will probably be insane, and then your power level is gone, and you're chained to a bunch of demons, like every Freemason. That was a high degree. The lower ones are not that chained to demons, right? Like some of them, they're not good, but they're not that chained to demons. But you have to use this stuff for goodness, bro. You have to use it for goodness. I was thinking about this as well. People call the Philosopher's Stone, I'm going to cover this in the next video, they call it Azoth. I should probably just be talking in the next video. Talking about it, not talking it. I drank a cup of coffee today. I haven't had coffee in like a week, bro. I'm cracked out. Straight up. Anyways, we should probably just talk about this in the next video, but people call the Philosopher's Stone Azoth. That's the name for it in Arabic traditions and stuff like that. And I was thinking about this. Azov battalion, Nazi battalion. What are Nazis obsessed with? Magic and mysticism of antiquity. Azoth, very ancient term for the Philosopher's Stone for unlocking geniusism. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying that Nazis use this stuff for a reason. They use it for a reason, bro. I heard someone say once, I think it was Zerka, that pretty much, like, evil people that are smart are going to use black magic. Is what he said. And that's true. But anyways, this stuff is a cult. What does a cult mean? Hidden. Right? It doesn't mean evil. And I wouldn't really consider this black magic. Right? I definitely would not. Because where's the black part about it, right? Doesn't God want you to suffer the refiner's pot verse in Malachi and then not lose hope, but incorporate spiritual explanation to your suffering to get to know that it was demons, and then to understand God consciousness within yourself, and then to take it and apply it at maximum creativity? Isn't that what God wants for you, bro? I just think it's like same with the manifestation stuff. Like, he gave us the tools, and you're either manifesting evil without knowing, or you could just choose to manifest good knowing what it is, right? Because you're lingering in this feeling of doom and stuff like that for your future. You're manifesting shit, bro. You're manifesting the worst. So it's already happening. But when people hear these terms, they think it's like bad and stuff like that, you know? But I believe it was Christ who said, I am. Say you're good, bro. Say you're learning. Say you're gonna be that guy. You know? And with faith, when you have that faith, God gives it to you, bro. According to your faith, that shall be done unto you, said Christ. And so these demons of illness, if a mute man is mute because of demons, if curses are inflicted for wealth or poorness, demons keeping you down, bro. And have the faith that God's gonna free you. But you can't do it for your material gain. You have to do it for goodness. You can't do it because you're like, oh, I want to be selfish, because you're gonna get punished. I mean, look at the last video, bro. I don't want to go over this stuff again. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's it. Sorry for that rant at the end. Anyways, yeah, I feel empowered when I read this stuff, bro. Partly because I know I've already done this, and partly because I just know that there's good things coming, bro. Very good things coming when you come to understand some of these principles. You're set. Literally. The more that you differentiate yourself from the average person, bro, the more set you are. Anyways, sorry. I don't mean to keep talking. Appreciate the view. Other video I'm going to set to release tomorrow. So, yeah, you'll see. You'll see. Some chick told me to do an outro intro. At like 500 subs, we'll start it. Because I don't want to do that, bro. It's annoying, dude. Like, do you know what I do? I literally open the camera app in my Chromebook, and I plug in this microphone. It's just like $10 or something. I don't know. My ex-girlfriend gave it to me. And then I just click record, and then I just go straight to upload. Anyways, I'm going to pose up for the thumbnail. I don't know how that was. Comment thoughts below, please. Tell me you made it this far.